clear on that.
And we can explain it to the schools.
You better believe it.
Good evening, everyone. I'll read the statement. We'll begin our meeting. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Laws 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Lacey Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing the time and place of the meeting. Rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. For item number 1 tonight, just as a refresher for some of our residents, approximately 2 weeks ago, there was a man, a former Lacey resident, named Joe McCusker. He's a Lance Corporal in the United States Marine Corps. He saw that the United States flag was not flying at one of our parks, Hebrew Park, and it was replaced. So he took personal exception to that because of his background and because he's a good American. I thought it appropriate at this time. I had called him. I was fortunate enough to get in touch with him, and I just told him, hey, listen, it doesn't have to be for fanfare or anything. I'd like to replace the flag. He took a flag from his own house, his own property. He put it back up in Hebrew Park. It really saw a little bit of a spike in social media, and it was advertised as well. It was written about as well in Asbury Park Press and APP.com. I thought a lot of that action and wanted to go out and get the flag. So at this time, I'd like to call Lance Corporal McCusker up to the microphone, present him with the flag and our thank you on behalf of the Lacey Township Committee.
I thought I recognized you when I came in, Joey. How you doing? How's your mom and dad?
Very good.
Doing good.
Oh, got it now.
Mom
Got
worked for us
it.
for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks just like his mother.
Thanks so much.
Peter, turn around and face the reporter here.
Yes.
On behalf of all of us. Thank you again. Really appreciate it. Good work, and we're all very grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
That was very nice, Joey. Thank you. For those of you who don't know, Joey's mom worked for us as a dispatcher for many years in the police department, and just last year retired.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, we invite you to, as we always say, we extend the olive branch. If you'd like to see the rest of the meeting, I'm sure it'll be scintillating, stimulating. We invite you to stay. That's up to you, but thank you again for your service.
Thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you. Item number 2, special use permits. Lacey United Methodist Church Shore Fest.
Okay, the Lacey United Methodist Church is having their Shore Fest this Saturday, but since we've had a 5-week break in meetings, I wasn't able to approve it in advance. I told them I was pretty confident you guys would say yes to make their plans, so I just need a motion to approve their Shore Fest. They've had it every year. It used to be the Crab Fest, so now they call it the Shore Fest, so I just need a motion to approve.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the next one is the Colonial Diner is having a Colonial Diner end of summer sidewalk sale on Saturday, August 26th. They're planning on having vendors, face painting, pony rides, prize wheels, and more there. It's open to the public, and they have reviewed it with Loretta, and she has approved the site plan and where the additional parking and how it's going to be blocked off for the car show and the pony rides to protect the safety of the residents.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item number 3, use of Jones Road Field, Pack Night, September 8th, 2017.
We have the new, I'm going to say commander, new young lady who's overseeing Lacey Pack 35. They want to have a sleep out pack night on Friday, September 8th at the Jones Road Field. Actually, it's a 2-hour event that they're having. They've done it in the past. They're just asking permission to do it again. They do have insurance, so there's not a worry on that.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye. Item number 4, request to allow time extension of storage trailer on property.
Okay, we have another storage trailer that's on a piece of property off of Dolan Street. The permit expired, actually. The normal permit is 30 days with a 30-day extension. This permit was given on June 30th of 16. It is still there. There was a demolition permit and a new home construction permit issued in 2015, but nothing has been done. There is a contractor who is contracted to build a house, but the homeowner still has failed to call the gas company to disconnect any of the gas lines and to move forward with that. And this has gone to tax sale for the past 2 years in a row now as well. So I'm not sure if we want to extend this. He is living somewhere else in Lacey. He is renting a house somewhere else in Lacey, so I'm not sure what, but we did just deny the last two for the same reason, so I think we have to be
I
consistent
mean,
here.
we've made a hallmark of helping out our Sandy victims. We had a lot of people who live near the water, on the water. We've worked very diligently with the state and local authorities to make them whole. However, I think there's a limit to what we can do, and we have to keep in mind the property of the surrounding area. So with that moving forward, and for the sake of consistency, I would move to deny a further time extension.
So we need a motion.
I have a motion?
Move
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
it. Aye.
All right, and then we're gonna hold off on the executive session resolution, because we'll do that after township meeting, since we have a lot to discuss back there.
Before we close caucus.
Yeah, you can make a motion to adjourn the caucus meeting.
Yes. So motion to adjourn caucus meeting?
Move it.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Township of Lacey Township Meeting, July 13th, 2017. I'll read the statement. We'll have a salute to the flag, followed by a moment of silence. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to public laws of 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Lacey Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing the time and place of the meeting. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 1, first reading of ordinance 2017-19, authorizing the reappropriation of funding for the Bayside Beach dredging project.
In order to the Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, reappropriating $45,639 in excess bond proceeds not needed for their original purpose in order to finance the cost of various dredging projects in the Township of Lacey, including the Bayside Beach dredging authorized in and by the Township of Lacey in the County of Ocean. In our Stouts Creek dredging ordinance from 2015, we had $45,639 left over because less of the disposal material needed to come out. Well, those of you that have been down to Bayside Beach have seen that a lot more shoaling has gone on in the past couple of months, even since the last survey was done. And in order to address the needs of those residents that can't get out of that first lagoon, we need additional funding, and this was available. We spoke with bond counsel. We're allowed to, since it's for the same type of project, and since it was money that we weren't utilizing, we can just reappropriate it to the new dredging project.
Move it.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo? It's been so long I did a
Yes.
meeting, I'm forgetting how to do this.
Second reading.
Second reading.
Yeah.
Second, item number 2, second reading of ordinance 2017-18, amending various sections of the municipal code entitled zoning.
In order to the Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 3 through 5 of the Township Code of the Township of Lacey entitled zoning so as to amend various sections of the code. This is just reorganizing some of the allowed uses in the residential and commercial zones and the village recreation zones throughout the township. So we're just in accordance with some of our master plan, just reorganizing some of the allowed uses there. It has been approved and reviewed by the planning board and will now be included in our master plan.
In a second reading, we'll open the floor to public comment.
Just on this ordinance. Yes. You have to step up and state your name, please. You have to step up and state your name. Address, please.
Address, I'm the owner of 308 Sinclair Avenue in Liddell.
Mm-hmm.
what zoning code?
The type of business or the type of business that you can have in residential and commercial zones, that's what it is. It's just setting up what is included in a commercial zone and what's included in a residential zone. Not accessory uses or anything like that. It's what you could, like, if I wanted to open up White Castle, can I do it next door to you? And the answer would be no, because we wouldn't allow the zoning. So we were just tightening up some of the definitions and the wording.
All right, do you have ordinances that are being tightened up?
Do I have what? Well, I have the ordinance here. This is the ordinance. And it has all the zones listed and what the new allowed uses will be in those zones.
Okay, and that's available?
It's already available on the website. We posted it after first reading. So it's there on the municipal website.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other comments from the floor this evening?
Seeing none, motion to close the floor?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Second?
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 3, Resolution 2017-183, awarding a contract for the Bayberry Village resurfacing Phase 3 project.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, awarding a contract to Johnson Barron for the Bayberry Village resurfacing project Phase 3. This will finish up Bayberry Village. Johnson Barron had Phase 2 as well, and this came in with the lowest responsible bid of $151,826, which is below the engineer's estimates. And this should be starting, I believe, right after sometime mid-August.
Yeah.
Motion?
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 4, Resolution 2017-184, awarding a contract for the Wallace Park tot lot renovations.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, awarding a contract for the purchase of playground equipment to BCI Burke LLC for the Wallace Park tot lot renovations. As you know, this is part of our capital budget this year. This is one of 2 parts for this park. We are purchasing $161,152.50 in new tot lot equipment for that playground.
Motion, please?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 5, Resolution 2017-185, awarding a contract for the Wallace Park basketball court rehabilitation project.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, awarding a contract for the upgrades to the Wallace Park basketball facility to Shore Top Construction Corporation. This is to redo the basketball facility, put down the new lines, and rehab the asphalt in the amount of $87,600, and to put up new fencing as well.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 6, Resolution 2017-186, awarding a contract for the purchase of 2 Ford F-250 trucks.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, awarding a contract for the purchase of 2 2017 Ford F-250 trucks to All American Ford. This is under the Ocean County Cooperative Purchasing System Co-op. The total amount of these 2 trucks is $74,872. They both come with snowplow packages, and one is for the Department of Public Works and one is for code enforcement.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 7, Resolution 2017-187, awarding a contract for the remounting of 2 ambulances.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, awarding a contract to VCI Emergency Vehicle Specialists to provide for 2 2018 ambulance remounts for the Lacey Township EMS. This is, instead of purchasing new, we can have a huge savings on remounting ambulances when they're allowed to be remounted. They do have a life expectancy when they can't. So we're gonna do 2 for Lacey First Aid in the amount of $250,580, and that would just get you maybe 1 brand new one.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis? Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 8, Resolution 2017-188, awarding a contract for the purchase of 1 Ford E350.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, awarding a contract for the purchase of 1 2017 Ford E350 commercial cutaway van to Winter Ford. We went out to bid for this item. This is for the Public Works Department. The lowest responsible bidder is Winter Ford, who also has a state contract, but this was not on it, in the amount of $48,402.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 9, Resolution 2017-189, awarding a contract for the purchase of 2 Ford Explorer Police Interceptors.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, awarding 2 2017 Ford Explorer Police Interceptor utility vehicles with options to Winter Ford of Cherry Hill. Winter Ford has the state contract for these 2 vehicles. The total cost is $52,655.20.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 10, Resolution 2017-190, authorizing various promotions in accordance with the 2017 municipal budget approvals.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing various appointments, promotions, and lateral changes in the CWA clerical unit for the Township of Lacey pending promotional procedures by the Civil Service Commission. There are 2 promotions that were authorized during the 2017 budget process. They are moving from keyboarding clerk 2 positions to keyboarding clerk 3 positions.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 11, Resolution 2017-191, accepting retirements from various municipal employees.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, accepting retirements of various municipal employees. We have 4 municipal employees that are retiring this year. We are just memorializing it by resolution. Those employees retiring is Casey Parker, Jerry DeFabio, John Hudson, Nick Kalous, and Donna Faber. They are all, one has retired effective July 1st. 2 are going December 31st, one's going October 1st, and the other one's going August 1st.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 12, Resolution 2017-192, renewing plenary retail consumption licenses.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, renewing plenary retail consumption licenses. These are both pocket licenses, so it's not like they needed to do it an ad interim for operating. It's for D, E, F, and G, which is the Forked River House Bar and Grill, and Rel is Incorporated, which obviously is a pocket license because there is no building anymore.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 13, Resolution 2017-193, authorizing the tax collector to participate in the state electronic tax sale.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the tax collector to participate in the pilot program for an electronic tax sale.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 14, Resolution 2017-194, fixing the cost for the tax sale mailings.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, fixing the cost for the in lieu tax sale mailings at $25 per mailing.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 15, Resolution 2017-195, authorizing the issuance of a duplicate tax sale certificate.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the issuance of a duplicate tax sale certificate pursuant to the Chapter 99 of the Public Laws of 1997. And this was a lost certificate that is asking to be replaced on Block 1125, Lot 3. The initial certificate was 2017-177 for 1205 Sylvania Place.
Motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 16, Resolution 2017-196, authorizing the release of a maintenance guarantee to H.A. Dehart and Son Incorporated.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the release of a maintenance guarantee for H.A. DeHart and Son Incorporated for the 2015 Duraclass 10-foot stainless steel dump truck body for the Lacey Township Public Works Department. It has met its maintenance period and it can be released.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 17, Resolution 2017-197, authorizing the release of a performance guarantee for the Bayberry Village resurfacing Phase 2 project.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, authorizing the release of a performance guarantee for the Bayberry Village Phase 2 resurfacing project. This has met its performance period since it's been 1 year. They are now on maintenance for 2 years.
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 18, Resolution 2017-198, authorizing the placement of a lien on Block 433, Lot 26 for property maintenance.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Motion State of New Jersey, accepting the certification of the Director of Public Works concerning costs incurred in the removal of debris and cleaning up of the property located at 104 Knowles Boulevard, and authorizing the placement of a lien against said property for said cost in the amount of $638.48. Not only did we have to clean up the grass and mow the lawn, we also had to take down several trees in the yard that were of emergent need to be taken down.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 19, Resolution 2017-199, authorizing the placement of a lien on Block 374, Lot 48.01 for property maintenance.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, accepting the certification of the Director of Public Works concerning costs incurred in the removal of debris and cleaning up of the property located at 848 Ensign Drive, and authorizing the placement of a lien against said property for said cost in the total amount of $230.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 20, Resolution 2017-200, authorizing the placement of a lien on Block 101.02, Lot 1 for property maintenance.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, accepting the certification of the Director of Public Works concerning costs incurred in the removal of debris and cleaning up of the property located at 1201 Borealis Court, and authorizing the placement of a lien against said property for said cost in the amount of $316.25.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 21, Resolution 2017-201, authorizing the placement of a lien on Block 101.12, Lot 21 for property maintenance.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, accepting the certification of the Director of Public Works concerning costs incurred in the removal of debris and cleaning up of the property located at 909 Sarasota Drive, and authorizing the placement of a lien against said property for said cost in the amount of $287.50.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 22, Resolution 2017-202, authorizing the placement of a lien on Block 166, Lot 8 for property maintenance.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, accepting the certification of the Director of Public Works concerning costs incurred in the removal of debris and cleaning up of the property located at 1013 Anchor Way, and authorizing the placement of a lien against said property for said cost in the amount of $116.96.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 23, Resolution 2017-203, authorizing the placement of a lien on Block 1631.01, Lot 1.01 for property maintenance.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, accepting the certification of the Director of Public Works concerning costs incurred in the removal of debris and cleaning up the property located at 427 Penn Avenue North, and authorizing the placement of a lien against said property for said cost in the amount of $183.43.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 24, Resolution 2017-204, authorizing the placement of a lien on Block 1625.05, Lot 2 for property maintenance.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, accepting the certification of the Director of Public Works concerning costs incurred in the removal of debris and cleaning up the property located at 538 Brentwood Road, and authorizing the placement of a lien against said property for said cost in the amount of $316.25.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes.
You can
like New
see
Year's Day.
whose grass we've been mowing.
Item 25, Resolution 2017-205, authorizing the refund of a road opening permit fee.
Resolution Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the refund of a permit fees to New Jersey Natural Gas Company for road opening permit 4195. This, they're no longer doing, it's $488.75. They're no longer doing the gas opening that they were planning on doing on Calvin Street.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 26, Resolution 2017-206, authorizing the cancellation of taxes due to 100% disabled veteran exemption.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the tax collector to cancel 2017 taxes due on a property granted the 100% disabled veteran exemption and refunding the resulting credit balance. This is on Block 943, Block 4.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 27, Resolution 2017-207, authorizing the refund of deposits.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, authorizing the refund of deposits held for the use of municipal facilities.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item 28, Resolution 2017-208, authorizing the payment of township bills.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, authorizing the payment of township bills in the amount of $6,678,977.44.
Move it, then I'll abstain on DASTY D 400.
Thank you.
Move it, or second?
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis, that was a yes.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. McDonald was a
Yes.
yes, and at D 400, Mr. Quinn?
Yeah, D 400.
And Mayor Kurtolo.
Yes, with an abstention on D400, O1021, and T0035.
Thank you.
Item 29, monthly reports.
For the month of June, the municipal clerk's office collected receipts in the amount of $10,827.30. For the month of May, community development collected receipts in the amount of $85,664.33. For the month of June, road opening permits were collected in the amount of $7,778.75, recycling commodity in the amount of $758, truck parking in the amount of $20. For the month of May, we had municipal dock receipts in the amount of $3,300. Municipal court for the month of May, we had receipts in the amount of $27,566.83. For the month of June, community development had receipts in the amount of $128,360.62. Motion to accept the reports is read.
Move it.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 31, motion to approve item 30. Motion to approve caucus meeting minutes of June 8th, 2017.
Move it.
Second?
All in favor?
Oh,
Abstention.
that's right, I'm not here.
You can't make the motion. I need a motion and a second here.
Second.
So I have a motion from Steve and Mr. Quinn is the second one. Okay, go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
And you abstain, Mr.
Abstain.
McDonald. Okay, go ahead. Next to 31.
Item 31, motion to approve township meeting minutes of June 8th, 2017.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Gotcha.
Item 32, motion to approve raffle license application for Lacey Football Foundation, Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks, PTA, Forked River School, Lacey Historical Society, and the Lacey Township High School Booster Association.
Move it.
Second?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, committee comments.
No ads? Okay, committee
Go ahead,
comments.
Hans. I think you did enough.
Deputy
Yes, it
Mayor
was.
Giuliano.
I think I was kind of amazed by all of these cleaning up of properties here.
Yeah, you think some boys could get out there and make some money, cutting some lawns and stuff.
Well, these are mostly vacant homes.
Oh, okay.
Most of these are vacant homes, and the mortgage companies just fail to address the need,
Yeah.
address it.
That's what I was gonna say, I think most of it's the mortgage
Okay.
companies, you know, it's a shame. But anyway, we understand now Happy Wallace Park will be started very shortly, which is gonna be another great addition to the town. Bayfront Park is coming along beautiful, took a ride down there today. It's gonna be gorgeous, as well as the rest of our parks. Lacey Methodist Church, the Shore Fest on Saturday. Everybody please support that. Reverend Applegate does a great job for our town, and we want to support her as much as we can. We always talk about different things, you know, and the employees of Lacey Township. As you did hear, some are retiring, which we are in the process of interviewing replacements, very qualified replacements. We always talk about the great job that Casey Parker does and the rest of the supervisors, but we never really touch on who makes it happen. Casey and the rest of the team does make it happen, but it's the employees of Lacey Township that keep it maintained and make it look the way it does. The great leadership that we have, but the workers that we have to do it, I appreciate very much because they do make it shine and keep it that way. Other than that, Mayor, I don't have nothing. I hope everybody's enjoying their summer. It's great out there. The weather's great. I think we're going to get a little bit of rain here and there, but I think the rest of the summer is going to be great. Everybody enjoy, and thank you, Mayor.
Deputy Mayor, thank you. Committeeman Quinn.
Thank you, Mayor. Just two brief comments. Tonight, we spent a lot of money that we've had in the pipeline for a number of months, you know, since we've adopted our budget, and we finally got to the point where we were able to take and adopt the purchases, which everyone saw as we went through the agenda. I just want to, back when we did our budget, we knew what we were spending, what our taxes were going to go up, and we knew that the township was coming under a penny on the spending for this year. But I just want to say, yesterday we were fortunate finally to get our tax rate from the county. The county actually certified our tax rate yesterday, which is what we need in order to print our tax bills to be sent out next month for the residents, so that they get them on time and they can keep their payments coming in on time. And I'm very happy to say that this year the taxes overall for the entire township, the schools went up about 1.2 cents. We went up a little bit less than a penny, and the county, very fortunately came down on their taxes this year, which really helped out the overall rate for the town itself. So at the end of the day, our tax rate was certified yesterday at 2.043, which that would be $2.04 per 100 of your assessed value. So what that means in simple terms is that if you have a home in Lacey Township, that's the average assessment is $275,600 this year. You're going to be looking at a tax increase this year of $36 overall. So the taxes are being held. The line is being held not only by the schools, the town, but the county fortunately has seen a big rebound in their commercial ratables and everything since Sandy initially hit, and that's starting to really show and help us out at the local level. So I just want people to know that the rate has been set. The problem we were all concerned about was when the governor's budget was held up over the 4th of July weekend. We didn't know what was going to happen, whether or not the schools were going to get hurt or they were going to lose money or gain money. But unfortunately, they did lose $72,000, but they're going to continue forward with the budget that they put in place, which we're happy to see. And they really have a very tight budget over there this year. They're doing a great job of keeping the costs down. And they'll figure out a way to make that work next year. So the tax rate has been set, and the bills, well, nobody's happy with getting the bills, but we're just happy that the delays weren't put in place. The only other thing I want to mention, there's a lot of people around town asking, I know people know that the planning board approved a Taco Bell to be built here in Lacey Township, and there's a lot of people that are getting real excited about the fact that the Taco Bell is under construction, and it shouldn't be long before it comes in. They are going to be under construction, but they are not under construction yet. If you look at the site in front of Home Depot, this site directly in front of Home Depot, has been a lot of work being done over the last 2 weeks with machinery over there and a lot of paving being done. That is not the Taco Bell site, even though a lot of people were led to believe that. The Taco Bell site will be as you're going in Sunrise Boulevard. It'll be on the left-hand side, up on the top of that hill, and it'll really be directly across the street from the site that's there. The Home Depot folks are finishing off the parking lot of that site because their time is up, and we want to have that thing cleaned up and have it finished. And they can still come back later on and put up one more building where those improvements have been done, but they would have to come back to the planning board at that point. But we just want the site finished. The Taco Bell will complete that whole site, so we're happy to see that. And having said that, we should also see the construction starting on the road right away. Our roadway is going to start getting built. We've had our pre-construction meeting. We've had meetings with all the entities involved, and we expect the construction to break ground over there sometime right after August 15th. We'll see the construction start, and we'll get that road built by the end of the year. We're only going, as we've said over and over again, we're only going from Lacey Road up to Sunrise Boulevard Extension, which is going to give us the ability to get the churches, property tied into the road and give them access coming out, and also the schools are going to have access coming out. So that's something that we've worked on many, many years, and we're happy to see it going forward. We are going to be building the bike path from Lacey Road all the way up to Musket at the same time, so that portion of the bike path will be ready to go. So thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you. Committeeman McDonald.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next Wednesday evening, we kick off the opening of Bayfront Park with the B Street Band. I hope everyone can get down there. We were down there today. It is absolutely spectacular. Even with the heat today, there's always a breeze down there, though it was a warm breeze today. So ladies who get chilly, you may want to bring your chair and a sweater, light sweater or something like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Dredging, we're going to be dredging the, the Forked River Middle Branch Spur, and that's going to begin on August 10th and go approximately 1 month. And that will be going 24/7. So it's going to be some noise out there, and they're going to be putting buoys out every 500 feet. So boaters, if you have any questions, get up here to Municipal Hall and find out, or talk to the marinas. They've all been informed of what's going on there. I was out of I missed the June meeting because of due to the operation that I had. However, during that time I was out, Congress did pass a bill to start the Yucca Mountain again. And while I was recuperating, I did call Congressman MacArthur's office to talk to him about it. And while President Trump is for it, this thing's going to be tied up in litigation for years and years and years. So while it kind of a firework in the sky for us, like, oh, we're going to get excited about this, but unfortunately, this is going to take a long, long time, and we're going to have to address this issue to spend fewer odds. The Lacey Methodist Church is having their Shore Fest this weekend. I started that as the Crab Fest back in 1990. So it's morphed into that, and that's always a good time. I think, Mr. Mayor, are you going to be in the dunk tank this year?
I can report to you, I did a prevention program last night at the Lacey United Methodist Church, and I was informed by Pastor Applegate that there is no longer a dunk tank. So you, my friend, and our deputy mayor are off the hook.
Why is there no dunk tank?
There is
I
no
think we can
dunk
make
tank.
arrangements, Mr. Mayor, to
Well,
get a
then
dunk
you're gonna have to
tank
build
there.
one pretty quick.
What's
I
that?
did it the last
Steve
3
and I
or
were
4
in one.
years.
Wait,
I said,
know where we can
let the
find
budget
one.
for next
4
year.
years in a row,
I think
so.
Watertown has one.
Yeah, we get that.
I did my time to God and country with that. I was looking forward very much so to seeing you and our deputy mayor, but what timing? And it's just amazing. Timing in life is everything. We have good timing.
And one last thing is, because I'm recuperating, I'm not working, I'm driving Veronica crazy, I'm
Yes.
driving my wife nuts. I've been sitting.
It's
in a
all
lo-
of us, Tim.
And all you guys nuts. They get a lot more texts from me than ever before. I've been able to sit in on some meetings, and I'm happy to report that all of the bids that we're getting lately, at least the two that I sat in, have come in considerably less than what we anticipated, and I think that's a good sign for the taxpayer. And I just wanted to say that, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Oh, one last thing, people stay hydrated in this heat. It's real important, and try to get cool as you can. So it's going to be tough out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Committeeman Kennis,
Remy Batten cleanup, you must be expecting something good.
from you always.
You're gonna be disappointed. I just, since we haven't had a meeting since July 4th, so I just wanna thank Exelon for, again, donating the money for the fireworks. Our fireworks display was well attended this year, so I'm really pleased that Exelon was able to keep continuing to fund that event for us. And to sort of continue on that, in that topic, this, I believe, is last month in June, Asbury Park Press ran a series on the power plant closing in Lacey, I think, if I remember right. And despite the news about that power plant closing, we continue to have many meetings with businesses and developers that are continuing to look to invest in Lacey Township, quite a few actually. And I also want the residents to know that we frequently hold meetings during the day with any residents that have concerns or just have looking to gather information. This afternoon, the mayor and myself held private meetings with residents from Toll Brothers who were just looking for information and clarification on something. So we try to make ourselves as accessible as possible, and I would just like the residents to know that. So that's all I have, Mayor.
Thanks very much. And to dovetail on some of what Committeeman Kennis and Committeeman Quinn had said, my belief, if you look at our town over the last 3, 4, 5 years, we have become a destination for business. I believe that exactly is spot on what Committeeman Kennis has said. There's been commercial interest in our town. I think our town is growing. It's growing the right way. It's a smart growth plan that has been, I believe, put in place and continues to develop. I think the residential real estate market is strong. I think if you drive up and down Route 9 and Lacey Road, you may see some commercial entities that you don't see in neighboring towns. That's because they come to our town, and we're proud of that. And I don't see why that would change in the future. And we've had members of this committee working hard on the town center designation, so there's a lot of work that's being done. I always say that it's a committee of 5. I'm the face of the committee, but for the efforts, in particular, of everybody sitting here. I mean, they're working hard for the people, and I can tell you, you will see this smart growth continue. What Committeeman Kennis says is true about commercial interest, and I'm excited and enthusiastic about the future commercially for our township. And to that end, I recently joined the Central Ocean Business Association, COBA. So along with 5 other area mayors, Okay, Pine Beach, I represented Lacey Township, South Toms River, Carmen Amato, Mayor Amato in Berkeley Township. We also had Mayor Roma in Beechwood, and Mayor Cuneo from Pine Beach. This Central Ocean Business Association meeting took place at Kearney Federal Savings in Berkeley Township. We do believe that there's strength in numbers. We do talk to each other. We had a lot of residents there, a lot of citizens. Press was there. I believe Maria was there, and she's in our audience tonight. Always very helpful from JCP&L. A great partner to all of us up here, especially during storm events. We're very grateful for that, Maria. But I think looking forward with the academic capital, I think that's up here, and the business experience, and knowing that the partners that and the relationships that we've forged, I'm excited about the future of Lacey Township. I think it's going to be a great and a bright future, and I think we're moving ahead. I think that's about it. I want to give my condolences to Owen's family. It was a very sad item that happened to that poor young man. And thank our police departments and our fire department who drove by his house. The young man couldn't see before he passed away, so I leaned over and I said, "Chief, why the sirens?" And then he informed me that the young man could not see, either due to his health conditions and the deterioration, or the chemotherapy, or the combination of both. And he was a very young boy. And then we, along with our deputy mayor, we attended the candlelight vigil on the beachfront. So it's end on a little bit of a sad note, but we know he's in a good place, and I just want to thank all of our emergency services for doing that and making that family feel like they're an important part of this township, which they are. With that, I'll open the floor to public comment. No comment? Please. Name and address?
Diane Carvalho, owner of 308 Sinclair Avenue.
Welcome.
Came last month because your calendar showed there was a meeting on the 22nd, I believe. That was canceled. but
No,
wasn't
it was a
anymore.
typo in the calendar, because when we created the calendar in January, you do a repeat, and it's the second and fourth Thursday, even though we never have a fourth Thursday in June, July, or August, and it got missed being
Yeah,
taken
it was
off.
on the calendar.
Yeah, see, it got mistaken off. I think you talked to Kathy about that, yeah.
I did, yeah. Well, I wanted to verify for tonight because I wasted a trip last month. I'm here to hear, I came here in May in reference to a detached garage shed 16-foot high on a piece of property adjacent to mine. And presented you gentlemen with pictures, advised you that a backyard that is 40 feet deep and 100 feet wide, that already had a 24 by 14-foot addition in that, now was given the right to put a 16-foot high, 30 by 26-foot additional building. And I don't know if you recall, the pictures have shown that it looked like my backyard now looks like a drive-in movie. And you gentlemen said you would look into it. I followed up with letters to each one of you. And as far as your concern for citizens, I did not receive a response to any letters. I followed up with an email because I understand that most of you don't come in for a week or two to pick up your mail. At least that's what I was advised. So I thank you for your email. I thank you for your response to my letters, my ignored responses. So I came here personally to ask, did anyone look into this situation?
We
I
did.
understand that, you can go up to 16 foot high. You could also go to Coney Island and eat 72 Nathan's hot dogs in 10 minutes, as the record holder did. But it's really not an intelligent move. And I don't think allowing a 16-foot, 30 by 26 by 15, 16 foot high in a residential area should be allowed.
Well, first,
It does not conform with the Department of Community Development, who I spoke to, Christopher Reed, to ask him if he had gone down to apprise the situation. I mean, that's quite a large building to put in a residential area. He said he did not bother appraising it, because he is supposed to look for architectural compatibility, which means roof line. The roof line of the existing home is 13 feet. You've now put a 16-foot building behind it. The color is not consistent. He has a gray roof. The addition, or this garage, or detached garage, or building, whatever you want to call this stainless steel monstrosity, has a cranberry roof and cranberry trim. Beige siding, he has beige siding with white trim and a gray roof. So it doesn't comply with your color, it doesn't comply with your roof line, and it was never assessed by our
Mayor, if I
Department
could
of
probably
Community.
answer a lot of these questions, because we've discussed this at the planning board.
And I believe Mr. Quinn questioned me that do I expect the department, or Mr. Reed from the Department of Community Development, to inspect everything? No, but let's just.
Ma'am, I think you're taking it out of context, because I didn't say that. I said.
Yes, you did. You
No,
did.
I asked
You
you,
expect him to, I'd like to have the records read back.
let me explain to you the
I'd like the
situation.
records read back.
You can
said
read anything back you want.
You expect him to go to every permit site. No, but when you have a 30 by 100 foot piece of a 40 by 100 foot piece of property that already has a 24 by 14 addition on it, and you ask for a 26 by 30 foot building that exceeds your own home by 3 feet, yeah.
Would you like me to answer your
If we pay
questions?
him, I expect him to go out and
Yeah,
look at
let me
that.
answer your questions, because we all recall very clearly, you were here 2 months ago. We all recall the pictures that you brought in. We actually, actually do feel, that you're justified in being, very upset about having that dwelling built behind you, because it's certainly something that does bother us as well. We did investigate, each of us, did speak to the downstairs zoning. My comments to you about Mr. Reed is, we don't go out and look at every single permit that's submitted to this township. We go by our zoning officer taking and saying whether or not it meets the requirements to issue a zoning permit on that, and then they go to the next step, which would be construction. This past Monday night at the planning board meeting, Mr. Kennis and I brought it up to the planning board that we have to take and revise that ordinance, because we don't believe that ordinance really is justified in building a structure of that magnitude in a residential area like yours. So we don't disagree with you, believe me, that's not by any means where we're at. The problem that we have, as you certainly would probably gonna just about say, is it did meet the zoning requirements, it did meet all the requirements to be able to obtain a building permit and be built under the current zoning ordinances.
But the zoning ordinance is up to 16 feet.
Correct.
And it also says that it must comply with the roof line and architectural compatibility of the home.
And unfortunately,
And
ma'am,
it does not.
that's
And it does not.
that's a question of
And the color
interpretation.
doesn't match either. He's got a gray roof on his house, he's got a cranberry roof there. He's got white trim on the house, he's got cranberry trim on there.
The
Like I
ordinance,
said, it exceeds the roof line of his home by 3 feet.
but it does not identify in the ordinance that it identifies it can be 16 feet. It does not say it can't be above the ridge line of the existing house, which it should say. We agree, it should say that. So,
It says that it must be architecturally, your
Ma'am.
own ordinance is architecturally compatible.
and architecturally
roof line.
compatible is a question of interpretation by the professionals that we have downstairs
Well, the
that make that decision.
professional coding, I called coding before this went up, and I questioned, and I was told it's within code.
It is within code. I mean, unfortunately, you're not going to accept that, and
No,
we
but
can't change
What I'm
that.
saying to you is that I think that why are we paying Mr. Reed? What are we paying him for?
Let me explain to you.
Coding turns around and
You don't
tells
want any answers. I can't help
If
you.
you have so many square foot, you can put so big of a building on it.
Correct.
You can go up to 16 feet. Doesn't mean you have to go to 16 feet.
It means you're
You
permitted
can
to.
restrict it to roof line.
Ma'am,
And
if-
you can say, no, you're only allowed, your house is only.
If the
13 feet
ordinance
high,
says that you're
only
permitted to do it, the applicant walks in here with an application and it says they can go up 16 feet, we can't arbitrarily stand at the counter and say, well, we're only gonna let you go to 13. 16 is the allowable
Correct.
height, so we're gonna
The
allow them.
maximum allowable.
But it's permitted based on the
maximum
code. Our
allowable.
attorney will confirm that if you'd like that confirmation. So the person came in, took out a building permit to go 16 feet. They were within every code that we have downstairs. Mr. Reed is the department head downstairs. The zoning officer makes that call. She is licensed through the state of New Jersey to take and make the zoning call based on our codes. She made the call that based on the existing dwelling that was there, square footage wise, impervious coverage on the lot itself, that this building could be built, this, whatever this accessory building is, could be built on the back of that property. So everything was done in conformance where it should have been done. That takes and moves to the next step where the building department takes over. The building inspector, again, works underneath Mr. Reed. He handles the overseeing these departments, but nobody down there goes out and looks at every site when there's a building permit being requested by anybody in this town. The only time that ever takes place, ma'am, is when it comes to the planning board or the board of adjustment, where those boards take, but that's much more when they look for a variance or when you're doing a commercial site. That's a different,
I
variable
guarantee
altogether.
you, Mr. Quinn, that if your neighbor turned around and wanted to put down a 16-foot, 6 foot from your property,
Yeah.
you'd find a way of manipulating the code.
If
Bottom
somebody,
line-
no, I'll tell you
bottom
the truth,
line
ma'am,
is,
if one of my
what you
neighbors wanted to do
can
that, I'd be
do-
upset just like you are. We're agreeing with you, we're not disagreeing with
we all
you.
agree.
But we have to correct it moving forward. But unfortunately, that's not gonna solve your problem.
All right, well, it's still not complying with color, and it's still not complying with roof line.
Ma'am, you're not listening to what we're telling you. The
Well, what I'm
code,
telling you is that you have two different departments. You have a zoning, you have three. You have your zoning, you have your building, and then you have this, we pay for the Department of Community Development.
ma'am, community
And
development
he's
is,
supposed to.
it's the Department of Community Development, which zoning and building department fall under that umbrella. Community development is the overall department name.
Right, but they're the
Building
ones
and zoning fall under that.
Aesthetically, they are the ones.
It
that
doesn't identify in
aesthetically-
the ordinance anything about color, it's all interpretation. And when we went to the planning board last week.
No, it doesn't
Can I-
say color though, it says architecturally.
Architecturally, yeah, that's all.
Architecturally compatible.
Compatible, yeah,
Right.
similar.
The roof, and reasons for denial would be the roof line, color, and siding. Yes, that's right in your paperwork.
But that doesn't say it has,
I read it.
it doesn't say it has to be a certain color though, but what you're interpreting.
Oh,
But what
no.
we're trying to do, so
It's
you
saying
understand,
architecturally compatible.
which is interpretation when it comes to a structure being built. We're trying to change the ordinance right now. We want to take and make it where you can't go 16 feet, you can't go any higher than the ridge line of the existing roof, which will be something that'll solve
I
that.
would
You,
assume roof line in your existing paperwork would.
roof line says 16 feet in the ordinance, and you just said that, you told me that yourself.
No, it says up to.
That's
I'm
permitted.
not trying to stating I'm gonna buy you a shirt between from 16 up to a 17 and a half.
I'm not gonna be able to satisfy your answers.
You're
I
not
mean,
talking,
Yeah,
what we're talking, it was up to. It
which
didn't
permits
have to
in
be
code
going-
16 feet.
It did.
16
up
feet is
to
permitted.
Is the maximum,
Permitted.
is the maximum permit.
Permitted is 16 feet.
Right.
And the application
Up
came in at
to-
16.
no, Up to, your word is
16 feet.
up to 16.
16 feet.
Correct, which means the maximum is 16, and if somebody comes in with 16 and everything else conforms,
It's
they
permitted.
can build at 16 feet.
Well, when you say that you are very committed to the residents, you also did not answer my
Because
emails or my letters,
The-
and I thank you very much for that. I'm very happy, that Lacey is developing Taco Bell, all the industry, but I think what you're doing is you're forgetting about the residents.
no, you-
Let's look at our streets, let's look at our gutters, let's look at the snow situation for when we have snow plowing done. Like I said, I'm all for, when we bought this house down here, my daughter turned around and said, where do you want me to shop? Where do I have to go to get food? You've built Walmarts, I understand, and it's great for the town, but let's not focus on Taco Bell and White Castle and who else we can bring in here let's put a little attention to not the dilapidated property, but the property that's maintained by your citizens who pay taxes and want to keep the town up and want to keep it beautified and have a monstrosity handed to them.
So we did all that after, all five of us are in agreement that that shed does not conform to probably the neighborhood aesthetics, but that's our opinion. As the code exists, it was legal. It was all legal how they did it. Going forward, we addressed your concerns without you having to write that second letter. We had our first planning board meeting, Monday meeting. That's the first time. That's the first opportunity we had to bring it up. We didn't need your letter to bring it up. We were bringing it up no matter what after your concerns at the last meeting. Of course, it doesn't help your situation, but going forward, it's something that we're addressing now.
Has that building been closed?
Yes, it has been.
I requested that it not be closed until.
I think it was closed out before you even
closed
said
out
that.
I'm sorry?
It was closed before you requested it.
Yep.
It had been closed out.
Well, no, that's not true, because I requested it in writing the day after our meeting, and it was not closed.
There's a form called Oprah, which you can come in and fill out. Anything you want, we'll supply.
I've filled out
Yeah.
more Oprahs.
But if you want to see
in
the date it was
city
closed,
hall, in every department. I know, I'm well aware of what Oprah is.
yeah, because if you want to see when it was closed out, you can get a copy of the actual permit and you'll see all the documentation that was actually granted to that resident when it was originally approved. We'd be happy to
When
get
I
it for
talked to
you.
building, they said it wasn't closed yet because they didn't even know what kind of flooring was going into it.
No, like
And I
Mr.
wrote the letter to you the next day.
I think it's a
Oh, we all saw your letter and we acted on it immediately.
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying. After the last meeting, we were in agreement in executive session that we have to bring this up. This is something that we have to talk about at planning board.
I see that you know, have a mention here of zoning codes being adjusted. But I was advised by Veronica here that that's strictly for commercial.
She's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, okay, so that it hasn't
Doesn't affect that yet,
come to
no.
paper yet.
What's going to happen is, once the planning board's going to make a recommendation to the governing body, to this body, to take and make changes to the ordinance, which unfortunately, has created this whole problem. The changes will come to the governing body, and the governing body will have two separate readings. The first one, you don't have an ability to comment on. The second one, you do have the ability to comment on. So it should take place within the next couple of months. The unfortunate part is it's not going to solve your problem.
Right.
We wish it could, but we can't go back, turn the clock
Well,
back
if the
and change.
building, if it wasn't closed.
It still couldn't solve your problem, man, because they've already issued those
Well, that's
permits.
not what the state told me. The state said as long as the building permit was not closed, because I was in touch with the state.
Well, I'll
as
defer
well.
that to our council over here, but
That
if the permit is
building
issued,
permit was not
Permit was issued
closed,
before the code was changed.
as long as
The permit was issued before the code was changed, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
He's
I'm sorry, you're
grandfathered.
talking about what you're looking, the proposed change. You couldn't do anything about that. It would be from the time it was submitted. Anything that happened to the code after the fact.
The state told me that until the permit was closed,
But if we change our.
adjustments could be made.
To the building, correct.
To the building.
But you can't require them to comply with a code that wasn't in place
At
when
the
they
time.
first
I didn't
applied.
ask that. I asked that the building permit not be closed until you gentlemen had a minute to address me, because you didn't have a minute to address me the last 2 months.
but Lauren, I think you should clarify that the changes could be made if the resident is willing to make the changes on their own. We
Right.
can't
No,
force
the
that
city-
issue.
That's what I'm saying.
No, the city could step in.
No, we
because
can't.
it's up
Lauren?
to-
No, if it is compliant with our code,
As
as it
it's written
stood
today.
when the application was put in, we can't do anything about it.
But the words in your code are up to. Up
Correct,
to.
but you'll see that throughout the code for a variety of things.
Right.
Again, if he submitted for 14 feet and he complied in every which way, he would be approved. If he submitted for 16 feet, as he did here, and he complied in every other way, you're approved. You're allowed to go up to 16 feet.
I'm saying I don't think Christopher Reed should get any kind of raises, because he should have been out here looking at a 40-foot by 80, by 100-foot piece of property with a 24 by 14 addition already there, and now putting up a 26 by 30 garage.
You're saying the lot is 40 by 100?
No, the backyard.
His
Oh,
backyard.
the backyard,
Backyard,
I'm
what's
sorry.
left.
The lot is,
Back of
it's
his
100 by
building.
100.
100 lot.
Yeah.
From the back of his building to my property is 40 feet, and he put a 26-foot, came 6 foot off my fence. I'll deal with the draining issue that's draining onto my property now from this. We've got 2 meters, and both run off onto my property. So I'll be back in City Hall soon now.
Any other comments this evening?
Just for her, just for me.
And you'll see everybody else in the town.
Eileen Chacon, 308 Sinclair Avenue, Winoka Harbor. I'm just here to say I'm really embarrassed by what's going on here. Because we gave you those pictures, that mayor, you looked at the pictures, your face was like, oh my gosh, what is this? This is in your backyard?
Right. And
Veronica
so-
whispered in your ear, hey, the code enforcer went out and approved it.
He doesn't approve it. He went out and inspected it. He does not approve it.
Okay, well, he went out
He
and
went out to
inspected it,
determine if
said
there was
that it
any
okay,
violations.
and that everything was fine with it, it was okay. And
There may be many things that I don't particularly like personally, but I took an oath to uphold the law. So what this committee did, and our land use professionals did, was in short order. And first, let me apologize, because I'll take responsibility. I get a lot of emails, I call a lot of people from my cell phone, and I apologize if I didn't call your residents. I'll take responsibility for that. That's an oversight on my part, that's on me. But what I will tell you is that we all looked at that, and I think what you heard Committeeman Quinn say here is that we all agreed, and you were right. I did take a step back when I looked at those pictures. Okay, so we've been proactive as early as 4 days ago. It sounds like they're gonna introduce an ordinance here, put it out for public comment, that no accessory structure should supersede the original structure of the home. That won't help you.
I was gonna say, unfortunately, now
Yeah.
I'm living next to this, I'm embarrassed. I'm in my front yard, and I have neighbors from 3 blocks over. Is that your house? Did you build that monstrosity, that airplane hangar? No, I swear to God, it's not mine. I have to bring people in my backyard to show them that I didn't build this. Because I have neighbors on my street, 2 streets over, walking their dogs, stopping in front of my house. What the hell is that? What is that? And I said, and who okayed it? The township okayed it. And it's I'm embarrassed. I am embarrassed to live in
Well, it
Lacey.
sounds like
I have
we're
lived here
fixing
for
it.
years, and I am embarrassed that I have this behind my house.
Well, what
I
I-
have people that come from Bayville, my friends, that come to my house to have a picnic in my backyard, and are like, what the hell is this? Where are you living? In the industrial park in Lacey? Because that's what it looks like, that I'm living in the industrial park. And it is horrible, and it's just horrible that now you're gonna fix it. Because now each one of you are not gonna have to live next to this, but I am gonna live 5 feet from it. And that's what I'm upset about,
What I could
because
tell
I
you.
have to witness it.
What I could tell you is monitor it. If there's drainage issues, if there's commercial activity, that you can come and make a report. At the time it was done, it was legal. We've been very proactive. We did act on this. You will be seeing an introduction of a new ordinance. That's what it sounded like to me here tonight. And
Well, I'm glad that nobody else in Lacey's gonna have to deal with what I have to deal with, because it's a nightmare. When it rains, how loud it is. When they're inside talking, I took video on my cell phone. When they're inside there talking, it sounds as if they're on this microphone talking. Him and his buddy were in there discussing the layouts and where his lift's gonna go and all his stuff for his cars. And I heard every word of it, just sitting on my back patio.
Hey, that goes.
You know, and so I'm glad everybody else in Lacey's not gonna have to deal with this, and I'm gonna have to, and be sickened that I wanna vomit every time I walk outside my back door. And I just wanted you guys all to know that, so, like I said, I know everybody in this township is related to somebody, to thing, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that this couldn't have been looked into ahead of time. We saw those structures going up, we called immediately. Veronica's husband went out and checked it.
He's the code enforcement officer.
Oh, I understand
Please.
that, but he's also your husband.
But that's besides the point.
But it's still, you're gonna back your husband, okay? And I'm sure that everybody else on this panel is also gonna back him, okay? Because you're their right-hand man.
I don't,
Okay?
I
it's
understand that
appropriate.
you're upset, ma'am, but
Well-
I don't think it's appropriate to say
Well,
that
I'm just
people of the
saying,
town,
I'm very
employees of the
upset.
town
Well, I'm
are
very
not doing their
upset.
jobs.
I'm very embarrassed to live here, and I'm very embarrassed to bring people from other towns here to see what's going on and to see what I live by. That's all.
And is he going to go back to the list in there?
I guess he's allowed to put a
They
list
want
in
to
there.
put
I don't
a
know.
list in there?
He's allowed to put a lift in the garage for his own personal use, but if it turns into something where there's any kind of commercial work being done, then we have the ability to go out there and enforce the ordinances that are on the books.
I do want to say, just so that you know,
Yes, ma'am.
I wasn't born yesterday, and you certainly don't look like you are.
Thank you.
It's a shame.
Bottom line is,
Can't prove it.
he's been doing it for the past 3 or 4 years. He's a mechanic, and he works on his friend's cars. And we have, we're vroom, 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 in the driveway in front of the garage, the attached garage he has. Now that he's in front of this, he's going to put a hydraulic lift in there. So he turns around like anybody else would. Oh, Harry, you need a new engine, no problem, bring it over, work on his car. I call the police, I turn around and tell him he's got a business running out here. Oh, I'm not paying you, that's my buddy.
But let me just tell you,
That's the truth.
that's it.
yeah.
No money
It's very
exchanging hands,
difficult.
it's not a business.
We-
We
we've-
don't know, we don't know.
We need proof of that.
Right, and we're just standing there with a video surveillance camera watching exactly every car that goes in there and if there's a money transaction.
That's the only way you can prove it, because we've had it in court.
We need invoices
Where
and
if
money
they- where if
exchanging
they
hands.
I'm the
advertise.
police department, because every time there's a vroom vroom, I'm calling for a noise disturbance.
Sorry, folks.
Sorry.
Too late to be sorry.
Any other comments from the floor?
Seeing none, motion to close the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution.